What's going on, everyone? It's DB, and we're back in BLOX FRUITS. Now, before you ask me, DB, have you quit Islands and Bed Wars? The answer is easily no. I have not quit those games. I'm just mixing in some BLOX FRUITS because I've been having a lot of fun in this game. Now, I am no master at this game. I only have reached like 2,000 in about a week of playing the game. So, I do know a thing or two about the game, but nothing like, dude, there's so much content in this game. It's going to take me a long time to master it, okay? It's probably going to take me a couple more months at least of understanding and maxing out different abilities. There's so much content in this game. It's unbelievable. But I can at least show you how to play the game, especially if you're a beginner. So this is the 101 video on how to get started in BLOX FRUITS. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about it, at least to get off and running so you can catch up to me. So first, I'm going to show you the main game loop, which is really about killing. So you're essentially going to go up to these quest givers here. There's like one for each zone, pretty much, or at least area that you're going to be grinding. You can see there's a couple mobs here. I'm going to show you all of this in more detail, but I just want to show you the core game loop. So you can see I got this quest over here. I'm going to go over here and kill 8 of these skeletons, and pretty much you're going to kill these until you've completed the quest. Once you've completed the quest, you're going to get like leveled up. All right, you see I just leveled up, and after you complete your quest, you go back. I'm going to transform out of that. But you're basically going to go back to the quest giver. You're going to get more quests. That's the primary game loop, right? However, there's so much more to BLOX FRUITS than that. Okay, there's like really cool quests for unlocking different like equipment, items. There's really cool bosses. There's storylines. There's plots. There's all kinds of like secrets and stuff in the game. So I'm going to be in this game probably for many months and not even be able to tap most of the content in the game. It's so cool. But you can still progress really far in the game very quickly. So it's pretty easy to play. The other thing I wanted to say is I'm not going to be able to teach you everything about the game in one video, so this is going to be a series. This is the 101 basics video, so if you're expecting more things like, covering different masteries, leveling up like different races, what the different races are, like mink versus gold and such, I'm not going to get into any of that in this video. So first, I do want to debunk 4 different misconceptions that people have about this game, including myself. I had some different ideas about the game before I started playing, and I've learned a lot since I started, okay? First, you don't actually have to care about anime at all or watch anime to play this game or enjoy it. Entirely optional. Most players that play this game don't even watch the series, which is based on One Piece, the anime series One Piece. Second, the fruits part of the game name is really just like another name. It's part of like the whole One Piece thing, but you can see this is a fruit here. It doesn't look like a fruit, right? Buddha does not look like a fruit, but that's just like the different abilities. That's basically how they packaged it up. So consider this like a fruit would be like a different kit in Bed Wars, for example. Best example I could give you is the magma fruit. The magma fruit's going to unlock like all these different magma spells or abilities, okay? So that's basically what that means. Different fruits are going to give you different abilities. You can change out of those fruits anytime you want, but the whole idea of fruits is kind of just part of the name and part of the experience, but it's really about abilities, okay? It's really cool. Third, despite what people say, the game is grindy, but not as grindy as some other games that I've played on Roblox. Pretty easy to level up very quickly. It's only been a week for me to get level 2,000. Granted, I have some, game passes and such. And fourth, you do not have to be pro at PvP in this game to be able to enjoy it. You can pretty much just play like, you can see I'm just by myself on a private server. You can jump on some friend's private server and not have to deal with people like killing you or anything like that. So you're safe. You could actually do just PvE if you want. Unless you really, really want to experience that part of the game, then just go to a public server. Now let's dive into the game. I'm going to switch to an alt. All right, so the first thing you're going to see when you join the game, it's going to ask you whether or not you want to be a pirate or a marine, okay? Pirates or marines, just pick pirates. And there are some reasons why you'd want to choose between pirates or marines. We're not going to get into any of those details right now, but let's just say that the majority of players are going to pick pirates. They're cooler, they're simpler. Look, there's no marines on here, so you really need to know about the game to really choose a marine, in my opinion, and know the benefits as far as it's more like a PvP aspect to the game, but you're going to need to know the benefits of bounty and honor system. So let's not worry about that. Just go pirates. If for any reason you accidentally selected marines while you're watching this and maybe you're trying to follow along, just reload the game. It's going to give you that option again. So depending on which option you choose, you're going to spawn on the pirate island or the marine starter island. This is a starter island for pirates. It's basically the tutorial area. So the first thing you want to do is get familiar with the UI here. You've got a compass, which I'm going to show you first. We also have a menu here that has 4 buttons. That includes your stats. You can close the menu, or you can check out your items or shop. So we're going to close that. And then you have your health down here and energy. Energy is used for things like dash, so you can hit Q to dash. So you can see how it's using up my energy. Definitely needed, so make sure you know how to dash. Just Q. Mobile players, you should have like a dash button, I believe. Click on the compass. You're going to want to get familiar with this, okay? You're going to be using this a lot to get your quest givers. That's pretty much to track your next quest. So you can click on track, and you can see this little compass here, little red arrow. You're going to turn that, then it goes green. You also see this on the screen, no matter where you're at. So if you're really, really far away, it's going to show you how far it is, and then the green little diamond there. So head over to him, and the main quest giver you're going to be going for each area is usually going to have like a little exclamation mark around this. Like actually it's big, kind of a big one, but you're going to see this in the map. You click on this guy, talk to him. He's going to tell you to, you know, pick a quest. Depending on the quest, he might say a bunch of story too, but for the most part, you just want to click on the mob. There might be also 3 or 4 different mobs on the right. Just pick the one that has the correct level requirement for you. We all start off with level 1. So you can see it right here. It says quest, defeat 5 bandits. Come over here, kill the bandits. You have to switch to 1. See how I don't have any, I can't do anything. If I go up to that guy, I can't punch him. So you need to select combat. Then you go into combat mode. Then you can punch him. And I want to talk about fighting. So obviously this is the most basic way you can fight in the game. It's considered melee. There are 4 ways to fight in the game, okay? There's melee, like this, basically, and then within melee you can also get like different melee fighting types. Like you can actually upgrade. This is like the base, very, very basic way of fighting in melee. There's so many different fighting styles. Like I'm working on God Human right now. There's Superhuman. There's like electric. There's so many you can play with. So that's just one aspect, okay? You can also fight with a sword. So there's a sword dealer here. I'll talk about that in a minute. There's also the ability to use BLOX Fruit abilities. This is the main aspect of the game. Like I said, it's all about like the abilities and such that you get with the fruit, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. And then there's something called guns. And with guns, I don't really use them, but there's like bazookas, slingshots, all kinds of weapons. So we won't really cover that in this video. Now, as part of these 4 different combat types that I mentioned, if you go over to menu and then stats, you're going to notice that there's all of these stats represented similarly, right? So I mentioned melee earlier. That's your fighting style. You're going to want to bump up your stats for that if you want to get more damage on them. Also, if you upgrade melee, just a side note before I forget, your energy cap here will go up with your melee, okay? So if you level this up, your energy is going to go up too. That's kind of important if you want to do a lot of things like dashing around, overusing a lot of different abilities. Maybe you have BLOX Fruit and they use up a lot of energy to use those abilities. You might need to bump that up. So defense is basically your HP, your health or hit points. Sword is going to upgrade your sword damage. Gun is going to upgrade, you know, gun damage. And then BLOX Fruit here is going to increase your BLOX Fruit damage. Now, as you level up, you do get points you can spend. So you see I have 0 points right now because I haven't leveled up. So let's go ahead and level up real quick. Okay, I just leveled up. You'll notice this little notification thing here. Click on that. Click on stats. And then what I recommend, depending on what you're doing, okay? So if you have plans on being a sword fighter, maybe put it all on sword. If you're going to plan on just being a melee type player, put it on melee. And then slowly increase your defense, okay? So do this primarily. Or if you're going to be primarily a BLOX Fruit player, put most of it in BLOX Fruit. I don't think I'm going to have a very good BLOX Fruit to start out with, so I'm not going to put it in BLOX Fruit. So, but you can see by upgrading that, my hits are doing more damage, and I have plenty of health. Like I can handle these guys, so I don't need to put stats inside defense yet, you can see. But I'd recommend putting in stats as you're dying. So like if you're starting to lose health a lot, maybe you go up against a harder, you know, mob or something, and you're dying, just put it in there. But these guys are so easy that I don't need that. So I'm just going to put it on damage right now, just so I can get through this faster. Also, you can see right here, this is mastery. So you can level up your mastery the more you kill mobs with that particular skill. You can see I just leveled up my mastery to 4. This is basically a separate level from your actual player level. So if I want to like level up my combat and maybe unlock ground smash here, which is the X ability, I need to have my mastery level to 20 for combat. We're probably not going to do that, but just as a side note. So again, remember Z key is an ability. So if I hit Z, by the way, combat is also based on where your cursor is. If I'm facing this guy and then I hit quick tackle and my mouse is over here, see how he turned and went that way towards my mouse. So everything's based on where your pointer is for the most part, unless you have shift lock enabled. Again, you know, Q is your friend for being able to get around quickly. But you see, I don't have a quest anymore. So do not keep killing these guys unless you have a quest. Make sure you always have a quest, active, or else you're missing out on a lot of XP and money. Now, once you have about 1,000 belly or dollars, so you see these it's $941. That's actually called belly. It's just their currency name. And you can go over here at 1,000. You could buy a sword if you want. It doesn't really matter. They're the same strength and skills. So you can go cutlass if you want. But I don't have enough money yet, so let's go and get this quest done. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go buy a sword. We'll just get a katana. And now we have a katana. Also, you can see I got a little prompt that I got a new item, so we need to equip it, and it's already equipped. And then over here in stats, you can bump up the sword just for more sword damage. And you can see katana has its own mastery levels and its own like abilities, right? So you can switch between these, combat and katana, while you're playing, and you're going to be so much more powerful. So you can go like this, and then I can go quiet rush, and then I can switch back to this. quick dash. See how I just finished them off? So you can combo, basically. It's pretty crazy. And once you have a BLOX Fruit, you can combo between all 3 if you really want to. I personally prefer to just use 2 abilities or combat styles. You want to make sure you have a quest. I don't have a quest right now, so let's make sure we get one, because you're wasting all that money. Look at the money you get. You get 350 each time plus 300 XP. And then once you reach level 10, by the way, you will unlock a new area. All right, so we're trying to get to level 10. I'm going to explain the navigation and zones to you in a second. The other thing you can do is you can attack these guys once and just round them up so you can get like a group kill. See how they're all surrounding me now? Oh, so intimidating. You can just kind of run around away from them, do another quiet rush on them, and then you can just combo them. There we go. So it says new quest available. So you can see it's red right here. It tells you have a new area you can go to, or at least new quest. So you can click on track, and it's going to show you it's off into a new island. So see how far it is? It's out in the ocean. So I'm going to show you that right now. But before I do, I need to show you BLOX Fruits. Okay, so over here, if you talk to the BLOX Fruits dealer, and they're throughout the world, there's like different locations for them, depending on where you're at. You can click on him, and you're going to find a bunch of BLOX Fruits in here you can buy. You'll notice that new fruits are in, it looks like 3 hours, 25 minutes. They're going to restock. So if something's out of stock, you can check the restock for it. And you can see there's so many different fruits here. Now, you might be wondering, what on earth do these do? Well, the best thing I would recommend is if you're going to get into these, save up a bit, like try to get like maybe, or see if someone's going to drop you an extra free fruit. But I would probably go up like a little further into elementals. I would save up for like flame, ice, or maybe dark. Light is really, really good. This is the one I use through to level 700. It's really powerful. It has a really cool travel ability. I'll do a separate showcase video on how to use it. Magma, I already mentioned earlier. It's a really, really good and OP, I want to say ability, but it's an OP fruit. Buddha is really good for like level 1000 plus. Even like lower levels, you can use it if you really want to. I loved Venom. Venom was a lot of fun. But yeah, ultimately what you want to do is like, especially if you have Robux, because you can buy these with Robux. Just because it says out of stock doesn't mean you can't get it. So you can get it with money, aka belly, or you can purchase it with Robux. The nice thing if you purchase it with Robux is you won't need to rebuy it again. Hopefully that makes sense. Like if you lose it or switch from it, you have to buy it again. So that's what's nice about the Robux one, is you don't have to rebuy it. It's permanent. It is a little pricey though. So for us, we only have 1100. I don't think we can afford a fruit yet. I think it's like 5,000. Yeah, so 5,000 per kilo, and that's a really bad one. I'd probably try like Chop, to be honest, and that's out of stock. So we'll just wait a while, and we won't buy one yet. Now, let me explain a little bit about navigation, because like I said, we're on a starter island, and you can see there's a bunch of stuff out there, right? You can see there's different islands out there. So how this works is there's 3 different seas. We're in C1, and we're going to be in C1 all the way until like level 700, and then you can choose to go to the second sea, and that's a completely different server. So you get teleported to a different instance altogether, in different lobby. So there's 3 different seas. C2 is going to be level 700 plus, and then C3 is going to be level 1500 plus. So what you want to do over here to get to this new zone is you can go to the boat dealer. There's also a game pass. Like if you maybe you're rich and have a bunch of Robux, you can buy the luxury boat dealer. It just means faster boats. Okay, so those are like way faster. Like the Enforcer is really, really fast. Alternatively, if you have like the light fruit, then you can just fly with your star all the way to the other islands. Now, boat dealers, you don't need money for the boats. You can use a dinghy. So like this thing right here, this is free. But you see how slow it is? Pretty slow, right? Alternatively, you can spend, I think it's like what, 300, and you get a sloop, and this is a better ship or boat. You can see it's a little bit faster for 300, and you just need to go to, you can see it right here, you just have to go towards the green diamond, and then once you get to the new area, you pretty much just want to continue the quest. So you don't have to worry about your boat unless you don't want to be stolen. Someone can steal it. You can always just go back to the docks and get another one. Be careful of the water, by the way. You're going to take damage, except for this water. This water's fine. It's just the ocean. So if you come up to this guy, you can also double jump, by the way, and later on you'll get better jumping. Just talk to this quest giver. He's going to tell you some options here. You can see there's 3 different options. One thing I want to tell you about this is, it's just a quick tip, because I learned this a little later. So you can see it says level 10 is required, defeat 6 monkeys, and your reward is $800 or belly. And then you have 2,300 XP. As you level up, once you hit levels 15, you can see the reward does go up a little bit, but it's just a tiny bit, okay? But they're so much harder. Now, going back to the monkeys, 2,300 XP. Monkeys are here and really, really close to the quest giver. So, and look at, they're all over here. They're just so close. So you can pretty much just go and kill these real quick. So I'm going to go and do that. Also, be careful. This is a PvP zone. So if you're on a public server like I am right now, you might get killed, even if it's an accidental killing. So, all right, we leveled up again. Let's keep bumping up the HP to about 150. If you were going to do a better build than I did, because I switched to sword a little bit later, I would have just stuck everything in sword just so we'd have like way more damage. Now, there are a bunch of free codes you can use off of the wiki, so definitely check out the fandom wiki for BLOX FRUITS for those codes, and you can get free resets, so you can pretty much just reassign all your points. And I highly recommend, depending on which BLOX FRUIT you go with, make sure you like watch some videos for the best builds for stats for that particular BLOX FRUIT. For example, Buddha, best build is going to be a mix between melee and defense. All right, we got a new quest, by the way. So you can see I just unlocked the new quest. I'm going to stick with monkeys instead of going gorillas. Again, because they're right here. I'm going to explain that right now, what I mean by that. It's just a really great tip for you. You can see right here, we're really close to monkeys here. You could go and take that second quest for the gorillas. You don't have to. It's not needed. Oh, look it. Someone dropped a kilo fruit. Well, that's nice. I'll go ahead and eat that. All right, we got kilo now. But you can see the gorillas are all the way over there. So if I wanted to do that quest, I'm losing time. I'm losing so much precious time by going all the way over there to kill gorillas. We don't need to. Same with the boss. We don't even need to kill the boss. You only need to kill the boss if you're looking for items. And so we're not doing that. All we're doing is grinding. So here what we're going to do is we're going to do monkeys. Now I'm going to show you BLOX FRUIT. I was going to show you on my alt. I was going to show you on my main account, but I'm going to show you right here. It's 10,000 kilograms explosion. To do that, and it knocks them back. It's pretty weak, dude. It's pretty weak. You know, and there's a long cooldown for it. So you're still going to want to be using these. All right, just leveled up already. So yeah, it gets way faster. Just go back to him again. Just one more kill. All right, leveled up to 17. Just go get more quests. And you can keep doing that until you're ready for the boss. If you want to take the boss, you can. Like I said, you don't have to. After you pretty much reach the XP requirement for the next area, which is level 30. So the next area is going to be the pirate village at level 30. So you don't even need to beat this boss. You can just sit here and keep doing the monkeys until you're up to level 30. It's not too bad. Killing the boss will help a little bit. He's kind of hard if you don't have like a good BLOX FRUIT, but he's easy if you have some good stuff. So again, as you progress in the game, you're going to start seeing a lot more things, like I said, fighting styles. You can see I've got Electric Claw here. This is a really cool fighting style. It has its own abilities as well. You know, you're going to have all kinds of stuff you can unlock. There's tons of side quests. There's crazy bosses. There's really cool items. You can see I've got like heightened senses here. This is like from my goal ability. I've got Dark Blade, which is a Game Pass sword. So you can see I can do like really cool abilities. This is still V1. There's like different versions and levels. This is like version 2 of the basic electric ability or fighting style. And then you have like Buddha. This is like one, everyone's going to tell you, get Buddha, get Buddha. This is what it basically is. You can transform into like this beast. You can also get something called a hockey, which is probably the first thing I'm going to cover in the next video, is really getting your hockey, progressing through some areas, things you need to know. There's like races. So you can see I've got horns. That is not part of my avatar, obviously. But you can see I also have this like little mask here. This is a race item. A lot of people have bunny ears. I'll explain that. But yeah, expect a lot more in the next video. And by then I should be 2400. I'm planning on getting that hopefully either today or tomorrow. Now, I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next vid. Peace.